Hi, it's Grandpa, and I'm here to read you another Christmas story at the request of your mom and your grandma. So, I wanted to make sure that I looked the part. So this year I'm gonna read Santa's Fart Factory. You'll love it, it's a classic. 'Twas the day before Christmas when all through the shop the elves were preparing and working non-stop. They gleefully painted and programmed and packed every gift that would travel in Santa's red sack. The kitchen was equally joyful and loud as the chefs made some lunch for the hard-working crowd. They whipped up their infamous candy cane stew, full of peppermint sprinkles and marshmallows too. Candy canes and marshmallows and soup? They needed more canes, so they checked their supplies and gasped when they opened the awful surprise. There weren't any candies in bright reds and greens, just 22 cans full of nothing but beans. Hey, what's wrong with beans? Baked beans are good. I used to eat baked beans and brown bread all the time in New England when I was young. The lunch bell had rung. There was no time to waste. They threw the beans in without taking a taste. Bad idea. They raced as they dished up the elves' favorite treat, hoping no one would notice the stew was less sweet. Because, you know, no candy canes or candy, just beans. I think I know where this is going. Well, those ravenous elves ate so quickly they missed that their candy cane stew had a new beanie twist. Phew, cried a chef. That worked like a charm. I knew that those beans wouldn't cause any harm. Give it a few minutes. Do you know what happens when you eat beans? Okay, well, if you don't, this will be a surprise. But back in the workshop a few hours later, the rumblings of tummies grew greater and greater. My stomach is bubbling.
My belly is too. Why am I puffy? Do we have the flu?
I can't hold it in. Clear the room first.
You can't fart in here.
But my bum's gonna burst. Not 1 second later, another elf blew, smashing through buckets of glitter and glue. Another elf slammed into crates full of balls. Others hit board games and art sets and dolls. The elves were flying all over the place. It was stinky toot chaos. Each bum sparked a blast. Toys, elves, and fart clouds were whizzing by fast. When they finally emptied the toots from their tanks, the place was a mess, and oh, how it stank! The kitchen crew sheepishly came to confess that their secret ingredient caused this whole mess. Let's hurry and get this place fixed by tonight. We'll use our bean power to help us take flight. The brave little elves had no time to regroup, so they strapped on some gear as they guzzled more soup. This time their fart darts were launched with great care, and they cleaned and they rapped as they zoomed through the air. With moments to spare, their work was all done, and Santa's red sack was filled up for its run. The elves were exhausted, stinky, but glad that they didn't give up when the problem smelled bad. The soupy snafu also made the elves think that change can be good, even though it might stink. They learned to enjoy their new rip-roaring scene, and all that it took was a few can of beans. The end. Well, I hope you enjoyed that Christmas story, and yeah, and I guess we'll see you again next year for another Christmas story. Merry Christmas!